What's going on, people? It's Steve here from Back of the Nest for an opposition preview video ahead of the game on Saturday. If you do want to see more Palace content, make sure to check out Back of the Nest on YouTube and all social media platforms. First of all, thank you for having me on as well. Appreciate you inviting me onto the channel. So I'll start off with Palace's season so far. The start of the season wasn't great. We didn't win a game up until game week 9. We were struggling massively with injuries, new players bedding in. There were even talks about Glazer potentially getting a sack, which to me always sounded crazy because he's the best manager that we've had since we got promoted back in 2013. But it was messy. It was a messy start. We navigated through it. The squad, as the game's gone by, Glazer's had more training sessions to work with this group of players, and the results start flowing in. And now we're at a stage where quarterfinals of the FA Cup against Fulham, which we recently beat 2-0 at their ground. We're looking forward to that. So one win away from Wembley. Away form has been fantastic throughout the season, but it's just at home that we've struggled, to be fair. However, we beat Aston Villa 4-1 at home. We also beat Millwall in the Cup as well. So over the past week, it seems like our home form is kind of changing, which is a positive. But yeah, start of the season is one to forget. However, going into this game, there is still something to play for, even in the league. It's the hope that kills you, right? You might have, for example, some Ipswich fans who say that you're already down, but then you might have some that say, you know what, it's not over till it's over. And we're at that stage right now where the teams above us, they're not that far behind. If we manage to get a result on Saturday, we're only 3 points behind the likes of Aston Villa, Fulham, 4 points behind potentially Brighton and Bournemouth. So we're trying to catch the pack, but on paper, and I mean this with respect, this is a game which we need to win, just like the Villa game, just like the Fulham game that we won. So we're on a nice bit of form ever since, to be fair, December to January. We've been on a nice bit of form for a few months. Everything's clicking now. So yeah, overall, it has been a drag at times, but now something to look forward to. In terms of our reverse fixture, I think a lot has changed since then. We had injuries, as I said. That was a spell where things were improving, but we were still, not getting as many wins. And that game was massive for us. I don't think there was much of a difference in terms of the league table where you lot were at and where we were at. We were both down there, battling it out. Managed to get a win, the 1-0 win, which was very important for us and gave us that momentum boost, because I think after that we faced Brighton and we beat them. And then, to be fair, since then Palace have kind of turned it around, especially away from home and getting the wins. That's the most important thing. So yeah, I think a few stuff going into this game won't be the same. Of course, Mateta, if you don't know already, he got that injury against Millwall, so he should be missing this game. But Nketiah has been on the score sheet in the last 2 games, so he should be coming in, which should be a positive. But overall, if you combine that game and my thoughts on Ipswich as well so far this season, I would say it's been a frustrating season at times, despite you getting promoted and figuring it out. There have been games where I've watched you and you're thinking, how are you losing? It's been that kind of season. I don't think you've been that bad in terms of performances, but I think this squad that you have is missing a bit of experience, which is costing you in the end. I don't think you're down yet. I do want you lot to stay up. I'm not even saying this because I'm on this channel. I do like Ipswich and what you're building, especially with some of the players that you got there. But yeah, I think experience has been the biggest flaw so far, because I do think maybe a bit of quality as well, if you want me to be honest. There's certain positions which you're great at, especially up front with Delap. I think Hutchinson is a quality player as well. And then there's certain areas of the pitch where you might think, oh, you might need a bit more quality. But then again, if you look at the last 3 to 4 years and where you're at right now, I feel like everything's fast forwarded. The progression has been on levels which is very fast. It's very fast, and you need it to be sustainable. So even if the worst case scenario happened and you did go down the season, I think the overall way the club is heading towards, it is in the right direction, which you should be very positive about. In terms of players to watch out for, as I mentioned, there's Delap, which is a player that we need to stop. I know that sometimes he can get heated and he's 1 game away from suspension. So that's interesting one to look out for. Maybe he might calm it down a bit more in this game. Defensively, we've been okay so far this season, actually good. It's been on the other end of the pitch where when we've had struggles to get wins, we just haven't scored enough goals. But we've kind of benefited from our recent form, and hopefully things are on the right direction up front. I think Delap is one to look for, and other than that, to be fair, and I mean this because of your injury crisis, by the way. I know you've got a lot of injuries. Clark, maybe. There isn't that many other players I'm looking at saying, all right, we need to stop him. Leif Davis is a very good player as well. Player that some Palace fans have mentioned potentially as a left back or left wing back option. Maybe we can look at this summer, but maybe there might be bigger clubs that come from, or maybe he actually stays at Ipswich. So we're not too sure. But yeah, I think you've got quality players. With Palace, missing Mateta could be a struggle, but we'll see how we can handle it. I think we've still got enough to get a win. It should be a tight game. I'm not expecting it to be comfortable, but it's a game that we really need to be winning, especially if we're looking up the table and trying to catch to the pack that are cool. So for that reason, I'm going to go for a 2-1 prediction to Palace at home. After this game, we've got basically 3 weeks off up until the quarterfinals game, so we've got a nice rest. So I think the players will give it all. The overall mood in camp is very high, and we can't take this game lightly. We can't take this game lightly because I do think you still got quality there despite your injuries, and you've got a very good manager, McKenna, who will be up for it to get revenge for the previous game. So yeah, I'm going for 2-1 Palace. Thank you for having me on, and also make sure to check out the preview on our channel at Back of the Nest from an Ipswich perspective. That will be posted as well. And all the best for the rest of the season apart from Saturday.